You would think that the most exciting amusement park attractions are only found in the major cities. Not out here in the middle of the desert. Well, I'm here at Buffalo Bills Resort and Casino, located just outside of Las Vegas on the California-Nevada border, and you won't believe what they're offering for the first time this year.
Desperado is one of the most fascinating roller coasters in the world, in my opinion. The ride can be found at Buffalo Bills Hotel and Casino in Primm, Nevada, formerly known as State Line. Since 1994, Desperado's staggering size has drawn in people driving to or from Las Vegas from Southern California. But over time, it's gained a reputation for never actually being open. In November 2019, I went on a Las Vegas trip to ride some coasters I had ridden previously and others that I'd be trying for my very first time. Desperado, I won't lie, was the primary reason for me wanting to go on that trip. I had always been so intrigued by this ride because I can't believe it exists in the first place. A hypercoaster built by Aerodynamics smack dab in the middle of the Mojave Desert doesn't even sound possible. The day before our trip began, the attractions page for Buffalo Bills updated to closed until further notice, and unfortunately, it's been that way ever since. After that happened, I became even more fascinated by the ride because I wanted to get to the bottom of why it's always closed, when it could reopen, and how the idea of the ride began in the first place. Desperado opened in 1994 as the world's tallest roller coaster with a drop that spans 225 feet. It's become such an icon for the area to the point where if you're driving past Buffalo Bills and you get a call from a family member asking how close you are to your destination, you might say, "I just passed the roller coaster." Back in the day, casinos like Buffalo Bills were thriving and Desperado was getting tons of publicity. People couldn't believe a resort in Primm had built the world's tallest coaster. Everyone had to come and experience it. But unfortunately, the longevity of the attraction's popularity didn't last as long as what was hoped for. Due to a decline of popularity, the price for one ride would repeatedly be increased, but it wasn't enough. And it didn't help that as we got closer to the 2010s, casinos all over were seeing a massive drop in attendance and Buffalo Bills felt the hit just as much as all the others. After years of struggle and the indefinite closure of the rides in 2019, you may remember something big happened that flipped the world on its head. In March 2020, Buffalo Bills closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and where most businesses would reopen as soon as they'd be allowed to do so, we didn't see a reopening of Buffalo Bills until December 2022 after many delays. Part of that was because of the decline of the hotel. It had started to become so neglected and so dirty that they just could not open it to the public. I also heard that there was some sort of bug or rat infestation or something that prohibited them from reopening sooner than they would have liked. Now, take that with a grain of salt along with everything in this video, but I'm just telling you what I've heard. After major renovations had been done, the property was finally prepared to reopen to guests at the end of 2022. With that, many had questions about Desperado and the rest of the attractions, which had been closed several months before the mandatory pandemic closures. Despite rumors, the rides did not open with Buffalo Bills, but we have been given more information since then as to what the future may hold for Desperado. Now, all throughout the closure, I'd kept a lookout on social media for updates regarding the rides, and I even sent out emails to Buffalo Bills about the coaster. I've posted quite a few updates on the channel and my Instagram account from that period, but I'll give you a recap of some of the key things that have happened. In September 2021, during Buffalo Bills' extended closure, Instagram user Thrill Rides Medley caught video footage of Desperado testing. He had spotted this while driving through Primm, and he knew that he had to stop and investigate. He was able to talk to a few maintenance workers who confirmed the exact things I had been told in my emails. Desperado was being tested every single month since the property closed to keep up with maintenance work. That way, if a decision was made to reopen the rides, they would be prepared and ready to do so. Images of a piece of paper on Desperado's control panel stating the ride was deemed unsafe and out of service had spread around the coaster community. That told me that because it had been a while since people had ridden it, it would need to pass new safety inspections in order to reopen. Once Buffalo Bills had reopened in December of last year, an interview between Affinity Gaming CEO Andre Scrivens, which is of course the company that runs Buffalo Bills, and Primm Valley Resorts general manager Jerry West had been released in this blog post from Howard Schultz. I'll leave a link to the blog in the description, but it contains some important information about the rides. I want to specifically highlight these two paragraphs that state the following. During an interview at Affinity's Summerlin headquarters, Scriven said Affinity's attention is focused on Buffalo Bills, the largest of the three Primm casinos with 1,200 rooms, the 6,000-seat Star of the Desert Arena, and the Desperado roller coaster, one of the world's tallest thrill rides with a 225-foot drop through the roof of the casino. The roller coaster doesn't have a reopening date, but West said the company has kept it operational during the casino's closure by giving the attraction a test run every month. He said the roller coaster will go through a sign-off process that will include inspections of the nearly 5,900-foot track and safety features before restarting operations. A similar similar process will be undertaken with Buffalo Bill's indoor log ride attraction, which also remains closed. That's a lot of great news because it sounds more than ever like we could see Desperado and the log ride they have there open in 2023. It aligns with the fact that inspections and safety upgrades are necessary for reopening, with that page over the control panel stating that the ride was out of service. That piece of paper is required by Clark County to be on that control panel until the ride is approved for ride operation. I read into this and discovered that while the ride is quote-unquote out of service with this paper, testing is permitted and inspections are allowed on the resort's behalf. Not only does this news make me feel confident in saying Desperado will reopen this year, but I'm even going to predict the exact month it could be thrilling riders once again. Assuming the attractions are approved by Clark County with no issues, I believe Buffalo Bills would want the coaster and the log flume to be ready in June. Why? Well, of course, summer is when everyone's traveling and is when we could see a boost in profits at Buffalo Bills. They might want to maximize their potential with these two rides, which are huge draws, especially for those who experienced these attractions back in the day. It could be nostalgia that pulls people back in, and then there's folks like myself who haven't had the chance to ride them yet but would very much like to do so. I could see Buffalo Bills getting a whole influx of coaster enthusiasts coming by to get on Desperado. I also believe June is most likely because it seems to me like they want to open both the coaster and the log flume all at once. With June being the start of summer and a very hot time of year, it would be the perfect time to open up a water ride. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I believe Desperado will be reopening in June 2023, or if not, at some point this year. Leave a comment letting me know if you'll be heading out to Buffalo Bills to get on this thing when it opens. Leave a like and subscribe to Coaster Dash for more updates in the future, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.